Where are you going?
Where are we going?
We're going to Boothbay. We haven't been to Boothbay since like we got married, basically, which was 9 long years ago.
To make it sound like it's a chore. 9 years ago. Man, the years have flown by. I love you, honey. That's the correct answer to this question.
So one of my goals for this summer is to do some of the stuff that typically falls in Andy's camp and us just to kind of do some different things on the boat. Obviously, Andy single-handed this boat for like 3.5 weeks, so he clearly can handle all of the tasks on the boat. But I can only do some of the stuff in a pinch. So I could handle getting the anchor up if I absolutely had to, but it's not something I'm terribly comfortable with, so we're gonna try it this morning. It is dead calm. There's no boats around. It's basically the perfect scenario for me to do this and Andy to come up and coach me, so let's do it. That's a lot harder than I thought it was. Andy just asked me, are we getting an electric windlass now? Which, man, it's gotta be easy. Just push a button. That was 120 feet of chain I just hauled up. I'm out of breath.
We're going through this like pretty narrow cut between 2 islands just because it makes it so we can go a little bit east before we go southeast again, because we're trying to head east, so it's a little sketch. It's very narrow through some of these sections. Got a second iPad going with a second chart on it. So while we've been out here, we've been reminiscing about the time that we were very, very stupid in our early 20s. I think it was probably, 2010, 2011?
Something around there.
Somewhere around there. We used to trailer Ecola, and we also used to step our mast ourselves using like a tabernacle system. And in that particular year, we blew up a bearing on the way to Rockland, so we stopped in Falmouth and launched the boat there, which no big deal, went smoothly once we got it in the water. And then when we went to step the mast, we got the spreader caught on something and broke a spreader on the way up. So Andy's parents were with us, but we decided that we were going to just put the mast down, and we called Andy's dad and we just said, meet us in Boothbay Harbor with a jigsaw and epoxy, and I don't even remember what else was on the list.
Belt sander.
A belt sander and some paint. And he was like, okay. So Andy and I went from Handy Boat in Falmouth to Boothbay in a single day with the mast on deck, in very similar conditions to what we're doing right now. But the stupid part of it was that we had no water on board. We had no shade protection whatsoever, like no Bimini, no Dodger, nothing. We had like stale Cheerios from the season before that we happened to find in a cabinet, and that was the only food on board. And we had no radio or dinghy for that matter. So we were very, very, very dumb and very lucky that something bad didn't happen. And we were out here in pretty similar conditions to what we're seeing today, which is, you know, some pretty decent sized, like 3-foot rollers, but with no mast. So the boat was just like this all day long. was pretty miserable. But the best part that happened is that where we are right now, we saw a minke whale, and it surfaced about maybe 20 feet off the boat. Like, we are pretty sure it actually bumped the boat, because just before it surfaced, we like felt something down below. And so yeah, that was one of the coolest parts.
Eventually, the wind built enough to give us the opportunity to use our asymmetrical spinnaker, one of our favorite sails.
So we just picked up our mooring here in Boothbay, and as we were coming in, like, it's a pretty small mooring field, and like we were clearly aiming for a particular mooring, like very close to the dinghy dock. We're very small, so like there was no problem for us to be like up forward. And this like couple comes flying through the mooring field and tried to snipe it from us. And Andy wasn't having it, but so we ended up with it. But they were like yelling at each other because they're clearly not very good at picking up moorings. Anyway, so we're gonna go get checked in. We're here in Boothbay, pretty excited to be here. We have not been back in Boothbay since we got married 9 years ago. So, and our mooring here used to be right over there.
So one of the best parts about being in Maine is that we're really close to a lot of friends and family. So today my mom is driving down from Bangor to Boothbay to hang out with us for the day, and we're gonna go on a little driving adventure and get some groceries. She's got some packages for us because she's the best. After climbing around on the rocks at Ocean Point for a few hours, we drove over to Westcasset to stop at the famous Red's Eats. On the way home, we made a quick stop at the grocery store. Thanks, Ma!
So we just got back to the boat, and I have quite a few groceries to put away. It was so nice to see my mom and get to hang out today and do some kind of different on land stuff in some places that we might not have been able to reach otherwise.
The following afternoon, we had a nice stiff breeze, so we decided to take the boat out for a day sail.
This has been a lot of fun, actually. It's been 15 to 20, gusting 22 sometimes. And we've got a chance to kind of flex our muscles a little bit.
We had a great time here in Boothbay. In the end, we spent 5 days exploring the area. See you next time when we sail on to Rockland.